So here we have a 2022 Wagoneer. This one comes in the Series 2 trim level in diamond black crystal pearl on global black Napa leather seats. And the powertrain consists of a 5.7 liter V8 with e-torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And I will say, even though this isn't a Grand Wagoneer, absolutely stunning to look at. There's that front end there with LED headlamps, along with LED fog lights. Then we have our LED daytime running lights as well. And huge shout out to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Franklin for letting me review this Wagoneer today. And there we have 22-inch aluminum wheels. And they really just did a good job on the outside of this SUV. We get passive keyless entry. There are the controls for the power windows, door locks, mirrors, memory seats, Alpine sound system, headlamp controls, and we do have adjustable pedals. And there's our electronic parking brake. And there's our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. Let's hop in this back seat here. So really good leg room, and as you can see, this seat isn't even back as far as it could be. And I'm 6'3", and I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size as well. But what's really cool is this seat wasn't locked all the way into place, and the gauge cluster up front actually told me to check it and make sure it was latched so the seat doesn't come up while we're driving. And then here we have our rear AC controls, the vents here. Of course, we can adjust that, make it automatic, or mess with the fan speed. And we have a 115 volt, 3-prong household plug-in, 2 USB ports that can be either USB-C or USB-A, and then a 12 volt. And there's that third row back there. And you still have plenty of leg room. Pretty impressive. And I love that third row sunroof or skylight. That's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and check out the back next. And there's our back end there. And that 5.7 liter V8 rumble is really nice. So here's the trunk space here. And then we can close it, hitting that button there. So to fold the seats down, you have a strap on either side here. And then you can just pull up and it'll fold flat. And then to pull it back up, you just pull this strap here, lock it back into place. And then here's our front passenger seat with power and power lumbar support. And the Wagoneer brand just did a really good job with this interior. I mean, it looks absolutely great. But now we'll take a look at the V8 under the hood. And there's that 5.7 liter V8 with e-torque. Now top in the driver's seat. So here we have a really nice leather wrap steering wheel here, which we can power, tilt, and telescope. And then over to our radio here, we have AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. And then we have Alexa, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. And then I like this little quick shortcut here. I can just mess with the temperature or whatever. Then I can toggle that heated steering wheel. That has 3 stages. And then we have 3-stage heated and cooled seats. And then you can also use all those buttons right here. So really smart how they set this up. And here's our navigation screen, which looks really good in person. And then we also have dual zone automatic climate controls. And we have the buttons for those down here. And then I like that I can have different settings here, off-road, and there's plenty to choose from and how I can adjust my vehicle for me. And here are all the apps you can choose from. Here's our backup camera. And then as you turn the steering wheel, the guidelines adjust. And then in here, wireless charging pad. I like how they stowed that away. And then down here we have our lane departure we can toggle. And then the traction control, tow haul mode, etc. Even the auto stop. And then here we can go through our drive modes. So we have snow, mud, or sand mud, excuse me, snow, the auto mode, and then the sport mode. And then our rotary shifter, reverse, neutral, drive, and you just hit the brake and turn the knob. And then you can see it won't turn if your foot's not on the brake. Couple cup holders. And a huge center console cubby there. I like how they did that. Pretty massive. And then there we have our front panoramic sunroof. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And then glove compartment there. And we have our wheel locks in there as well. And then we have our second screen here, so I'm going to pull up for the passenger, the front passenger. So I had to switch seats for this. To go ahead and get the screen on, you just go into here and make sure that both of these are blue. And then that's your screen there. And you can fool with the audio, video, HDMI, all of that. And then you can even adjust the brightness. And if you have wireless headphones, you can fool with that too. So really, really sleek. And if you see from over here, you cannot see the screen unless you are directly in front of it. So I didn't even know the thing was on. I thought I was doing something wrong, but you can only see it from this seat. So that's pretty awesome. But now, go back to the driver's seat. So here we have our gauge cluster controls on the left side. Then we can have our quick select button up here. And I really like how you're able to do that and kind of go through your favorites and set those up. And then Bluetooth controls here. And of course we have our adaptive cruise controls over here, and we can adjust the gap. And then we have our gear limit here, so we can manually shift if we want to. And behind the steering wheel on the left side, we have our track list radio station controls. Behind the steering wheel on the right side, we have our volume controls. But really like that gauge cluster, looks really nice. There's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob with remote start.